Anyway, they got there where Lazarus was, and one of the sisters came up to him and said, Jesus, why didn't you, if you were here, you wanted to die. But I still believe that you're here now. I still believe that whatever you ask the Lord, he'll give to you. And Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies. And whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? So, you hear that, thing a whole lot, but a lot of people don't know where it comes from. She was she didn't have doubt in him, but she still had faith. She was like, Jesus, man, if you would have been here, he wouldn't have died. But she's like, even though I know I'm upset, I know he's dead, I still have faith that no matter what, you're going to ask the Lord, whatever he's going to get whatever you ask for the Lord. And so, he said, yeah, you're right, I am the resurrection and life. And if you believe this, I'll raise you from the dead, and your brother. And, that's really an amazing quote, but I'll get into that other stuff later. And so, at this point, verse 35, in John chapter 11, verse 35, Jesus wept. That's the shortest verse in the Bible, but it's one of the most powerful verses. And there's huge, books just on that one verse. It just talks about how Jesus wept. And it really shows that Jesus was human. He did have feelings. He did have emotions. So when we're crying and upset, we can relate to Jesus. That's what the whole New Testament is about, is actually being able to relate to Jesus, because he was a human. It's not just something untangible thing that we can't touch. He was an actual person here, and he actually cried. He loved Lazarus. Lazarus was his good friend, and he was dead, and he felt that. And so as you go on to verse 38, Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. Jesus once more deeply moved. So basically what that's saying, he's still crying. He's still crying at the tomb when they walk over there. And it was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. So let's imagine this huge cave and a stone, because that's what they did back then. They didn't have the embalming processes we have. They basically just wrapped you up in a mummy thing and put this big stone over it so it didn't stink. And keep in mind that this has been 4 days. Lazarus has been dead for 4 days. So apparently, it took him 4 days to get there. So he's already been dead. He's already been stinking.